You ever hear something you know shouldn't be real? Like a whisper, coming from inside the earth? Yeah, that's where it started. We were a team of 5 climbers. Seasoned, precise, used to the cold, the isolation, all of it. But this place, this glacier, it was wrong from the beginning. The map didn't even name it, just coordinates. Locals called it the Sleeping Jaw, said no one who climbed near it ever came back. We thought it was just folklore. You know, mountain people talk. Superstition. God, we were so stupid. The first voice came on day 2. We were setting up camp when Jacob went pale. He turned his head like someone had whispered in his ear. "There's someone down there," he said, pointing at a massive crevasse stretching across the ice like a scar. Maya laughed. "Jacob, it's a glacier. Glaciers make noise." But he didn't laugh back. That night, we heard it too. A voice, faint, female, calling for help from inside the ice. It wasn't wind. It wasn't echo. It said my name. On day 3, we descended into the crevasse. Not out of curiosity. It felt like a pull, like the glacier wanted us there. The descent was brutal, narrow tunnels of ice, spiraling like veins into the earth. The walls dripped even though the temperature was below 0. Jacob swore he saw movement in the ice. A face, eyes staring at him through the frozen wall. We didn't believe him. Not yet. As we went deeper, the air changed. It got warmer. Not a little warmer. I mean warm like breath on your neck. Warm like something ancient was alive under the ice. The walls began to pulse. The blue glow in the ice shifted, no longer a reflection of our lights. It was coming from within, and then we heard it. All of us. Hundreds of whispers echoing in our heads. Not out loud. Inside. They spoke in fragments. In memories. In fears. One said my mother's voice, dying in the hospital. Another repeated the exact words I said when I left someone behind on a failed climb in Argentina. Maya fell to her knees, screaming, "Get out of my head. Stop." And just like that, the tunnel sealed behind us. The glacier closed. We kept moving forward. Had no choice. And that's when we saw the chamber. A perfect sphere carved into the ice, as if the earth had grown a frozen heart. In the center, a dark pit, deeper than anything I've ever seen. And from it came the voices. They weren't whispers now. They sang. Beautiful. Horrific. Like a choir of souls drowning, and still praising what killed them. Jacob stared into the void, transfixed. Then, without warning, he smiled and stepped in. No scream, no hesitation, just silence. And then, the walls started breathing. We tried to run, but every direction led us back to the pit. Time didn't move normally anymore. Our watches stopped. Maya swore she saw the sun inside the tunnel, but it was black and bleeding. We were losing it. All of us. And then we heard it. Not a voice. A name. Mine. Over and over. Screamed. Begged. Like I was being called home. And that's when it crawled out. It wore Jacob's face, but wrong. Too long. Too symmetrical. Too clean. His eyes were mirrors. When I looked into them, I saw myself, standing at the edge of the pit, smiling like he did. It spoke in my own voice. "You left them. You always leave them." Maya fired her flare gun, direct hit. The thing didn't scream. It shattered into 1,000 shards of ice and laughed. We ran. Again. I don't remember how long. We lost Leo. One moment he was behind us, the next gone. His voice still echoed through the walls, screaming in a loop. Like he was stuck in some audio trap, playing forever. Eventually, the glacier opened up. We were outside. Only me and Maya. Except she wasn't breathing. She was cold, eyes wide open, frozen, but she'd been running seconds ago, and there was no frost on her, just a thin layer of ice under her skin. They found me 3 days later, alone, rambling, frostbitten. They said I never went on any expedition. Said my climbing partners had died years ago in other places. Said I must have wandered off during a solo hike. But here's the thing. In my backpack, something I didn't pack was a piece of blue ice. Perfectly spherical, warm to the touch. And sometimes, when I hold it to my ear, I hear her voice, Maya's, saying my name, begging me to come back. And God help me, part of me wants to. They said I was found only a few miles from the village. wondering, talking to someone who wasn't there. The rescue team said I was lucky, but I don't feel lucky. I feel unfinished. Because even now, back home, in my warm bed, something's wrong. I don't sleep. I don't eat. Sometimes I find myself standing in front of the freezer, whispering to it. And I don't remember what I said. A week later, I started seeing them. Reflections in glass. In windows. Not mine. Jacob. Maya. Leo. Smiling. Watching. Always just out of reach. I went to a therapist. Tried to tell her what happened. She nodded, took notes, and asked if I remembered anything from before the expedition. That's when it hit me. I couldn't. Not fully. My past was smeared. Like ice thawing on a photo. Names, faces, places, blurred. The only thing that felt real was the glacier. I went back to the coordinates. I know. Insane. But I had to. Something wasn't finished. When I got there, the terrain had changed. The crevasse was gone. Like it never existed. But the moment I stepped onto the ice, I heard her voice again. Clear. Close. Right behind me. And this time, she wasn't alone. They surrounded me. Forms in the fog. Shapes made of frost and breath. I saw my father, but he's been dead for 10 years. I saw a girl I left behind in college. And then, I saw myself, standing across the ice, smiling, eyes hollow. He had spoke. You left, but you were never supposed to leave. I screamed, ran, but the ice beneath me cracked, and cracked, and I woke up in a hospital. Again, same story. They said I was found frozen, barely alive. They said it was impossible I survived. But the doctors avoid my eyes. The nurses whisper when I pass. One of them left a note in my room. It said only one thing. It followed you. Now, every night, I dream of the pit. But not like before. I'm no longer standing at the edge. I'm falling. Forever. And sometimes, I hear you. Yes, you. Listening to this story. You think you're safe, right? That I'm just a voice. Just a nightmare someone wrote. But listen closely. Can you hear it? That sound behind you? That cold whisper? It knows your name now. It's coming.